Today on JiK Labs, we're going to talk about hyperlinks, how you can use them, and what they're good for in Microsoft Excel. Let's get started. Now that you have Excel open and ready to go, you're going to see we have pretty much a blank worksheet here. We have some points of hyperlinks in which we want to go over today. Whether or not you've used an hyperlink before or you know what one was, most likely you've come across one in the past. Hyperlink is something merely that is kind of behind the scenes. You click on a link and then it takes you to where it is designed to go. And in this case, it could be an email, a web page, a place in this document, and a file that you already have saved or a new file. And we're going to show you how to go about that today with Microsoft Excel. Very first thing is with email. So let's say we want to create a link and we just type in an email address. Let's be honest. And the jiklabs@gmail.com. Right now, if we hover over this, we can see a pop-up window that says mail to the jiklabs@gmail.com. If we click on this link, it will send us there. Well, that is a hyperlink. Microsoft Excel recognized this as an email address and says, we're going to hyperlink it. So if someone clicks on this, we will open up that person's default mail program and start a message to them. Well, that's great. What if we wanted to say something different than the JiK Labs email address? Well, let's delete that out, and you can, to create a hyperlink, you can right click all the way at the bottom, say link, and insert link. You can come up to insert in your ribbon bar and then click on link and insert link, or you can highlight the cell, in this case C3, that you want to insert the hyperlink and hit Control K, which is the shortcut, and it brings up this window. So right now we can see it defaults to a place in this document. Well, right now we want to do an email address. So we're going to click on email, text to display, and we'll say click here to email JiK Labs. And the email address down below, we're going to set it up as the jiklabs@gmail.com. You can even go as far as the subject to say hello. And that just makes it a little bit easier because you could have different hyperlinks and set it up for, hey, I need to know about X, Y, and Z, or I'm interested in a quote. And then you could put that in your subject line. When that comes in, you have all that information. But we're going to head and check all this information. Everything looks good. And as you can see in the email address, it said mail to : the JiK Labs. Excel took care of that for us. We will go ahead and click OK, and you're going to see, click here to email JiK Labs. And if you'll notice, Excel defaults it to a blue with an underline. When you hover over this, you can see that your cursor changes to a pointer. And if you hover over a little bit longer, it tells you where that link is sending you. Now, keep in mind, external links can be also very dangerous and fraudulent if not from a known or reliable source. So just keep that in mind. Just don't go clicking willy-nilly on all hyperlinks because, JiK Labs told you all about them. So please use caution. So now if we were to click on this, it would bring up our email provider, or in this case, Outlook or whatever you're using on your computer. Open up a new message to the jiklabs@gmail.com with a subject that says hello. Also, if we wanted to come down and go to a web page, we could do the same thing, www.google.com, and hit enter. And Microsoft Excel already knows that that is a website, and it defaults to the hyperlink for us. Now let's back that out and do the same exact thing. This time, we want to highlight the cell, Control K, bring up the Insert Hyperlink menu again, and we want to go on the left, an existing file or web page. So we'll click on this, and then we can see a current folder, browse pages, or recent files. We can also say here in our text to display, click here to go to Google. So we know we want to go to Google. So we're going to come down here to the address and type in www.google.com. And you can see Microsoft or Excel has already added in the HTTP for us. We'll go ahead and click OK because everything seems to be good. And we can see right here we got a hyperlink that says click here to go to Google. And if we hover over that for a second, we can see the little pointing hand, which tells us that this is a link. And then we can see it's going to send us to Google, and that's all we really need to know there. So now let's look at placing this document. And what does that mean? That means if whatever we say, click here, it will jump us within a place in this workbook. It could be somewhere on this sheet. It could be another sheet. But so let's take a look at it. We're going to go up to Insert, Link, and Insert Link. We're going to select Place in this document. And we're going to say text to display, click here to jump. Where's it going to go? We don't know. But we can come down here below and see where is it going to take us. So this is one thing that you need to keep in mind. You need to know where you want to go within the document because there's no place to click and allow you to click like you do for your equations. So let's say we want to go to B2 on sheet 2. And we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And once again, we have our hyperlink. And let's see, where does this take us? Whoop, there we go. And as you can see, we've already made a hyperlink on sheet 2 because you can tell because we're holding over the location and it says it's a hyperlink. Now, one thing we did here to show you is that we've made the text white rather than the default blue. Because of the fill that we chose, the blue on the default hyperlink color didn't work. So you can change the formatting of those hyperlinks. It is up to you. So go back. It takes us right back to where we were. And if you notice right here, now it has gone from a blue to a purple. That means that we have clicked on that link. So we are aware that we've already been there. Now let's look at the existing file. Same thing, Control K, and we've selected the file that we want. As you can see, we're in the JiK Labs Excel folder, and what we want to say is 38 wrap text, because that's the file we're going to select, and we're going to highlight it down here, and we'll go ahead and hit OK. And as you can see now, it has put that in for us. If we were to click on this link, you could see it has opened up our document on the OneDrive because we're using Microsoft 365 and this file is ultimately linked to the cloud. Therefore, when you put in the web address on our Insert Hyperlink window, you can see here down below that it is going to our OneDrive. Since we didn't want this to go to the cloud or the OneDrive and we wanted to open in Microsoft Excel, we put in the local link from our file. Now you'll need to know your file locations to be able to point to where you need to go, but here you go, and you can also browse for a file within your computer by clicking right here in the little file folder. If you do that, brings up this window, and we come in here and we select wrap text and we hit OK. And you can see down below it's the same thing as us copying and pasting in the link, and we just click OK. If we were to click this now, it's going to get us a little pop-up. It says, are you sure you want to do this? And we're going to say yes, and then it opens the file directly in Microsoft Excel. So now we want to look at creating a new file. So once again, we're going to come in, Insert Links, and we're going to come in, Create New Document. And we're going to say New Excel. And we can name the document. We're going to call it New Excel 1. We can either select when to edit it now, or edit it later. We're going to go ahead and leave it selected at Edit Now and click OK. So what we're going to do is we clicked on that guy. Here we are. We have a brand new workbook called New Excel. It is open and ready to go for us. Everything we did up here, we showed you how to use with the built-in features of Microsoft Excel, pretty much the wizard to walk us through, insert link or Control K to get us there. But there's also the Hyperlink function in Microsoft Excel. And very quickly, we're going to show you how to use it for a file, a website, and an email address. So like any Microsoft equation, equals, hyperlink, open those, parentheses, you open quotations, and you type in the file location of what you want to open. So we're on our E drive, and the file is 38 wrap text.xlsx. Enter that information, close the parentheses, comma, and now we want to know the friendly name, and we'll say click here for wrap text. Close those quotations, close those parentheses, and hit enter. And you're going to see click here for wrap text. If we click here, we're going to get a little Microsoft warning that says, hey, this is unsafe. Do you want to click or not? We're going to say yes. And we can see that we have wrap text open again for us. We will go ahead and close this out and show you what this looks like over here. And now we're going to go to a website. Same thing, equals hyperlink. Open those parentheses. Now again, we want to use the quotations, and we're going to do HTTP, and we're going to go www.google.com. Close out those quotations, comma, click here for Google. Close out those quotations, close the parentheses, and hit enter. We'll show you what it looks like over here. And here we go. We click, our default browser pops up and took us directly to Google. We'll go ahead and close that guy out. Back to our Excel sheet, and finally, email. Just like before, hyperlink, quotations, and we're going to say mail to the JiK Labs at gmail.com. Close out those quotations, comma, and then we'll say click here to email us. Close the quotations, close the parentheses, and hit enter. We'll show you what it looks like over here. Again, I've changed it up a little bit on the last bit, but you'll get the point. And if you were to click here, Outlook would open, create a new message, and you're good to go. A couple more things that we need to go over before we finish up with the hyperlinks are, right now, when you hover over the text, you get the little pointer hand. Say you want to select cell C3. Well, if I click right here, anywhere where there's that hyperlink text, I'm going to get the hyperlink. So how do you go about that? If you move a little bit off the text, a little bit to the right, and then you can see the little cross sign, you're now able to click on that cell. Now, a couple other things we need to do is, let's just say you want to edit this hyperlink. Well, in C3, we can right click on it, go down our items, and say edit hyperlink. And once again, it will bring up hyperlink window. We can make the changes we need to do. Hello again, and hit OK. Now let's just say we want to remove the links. Well, again, right click on that hyperlink, or that cell rather, same thing, and just click remove hyperlink. And now I can click everywhere there is, and the hyperlink is gone. Thank you for joining us as we explored hyperlinks in Microsoft Excel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and click that little notification bell so you're always up to date on all of our latest videos. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. And I did YouTube.